Do you remember the stories you loved as a child? Most of them were classic fairy tales where a princess would be captured by a monster and a hero would arrive to defeat the beast and rescue her. The hero, no matter how difficult the challenge, always found a way to succeed. But as we grow up, we start seeing these stories differently. We realize they are just fantasies, far from the complexities of real life. The struggles we face in reality don't come with guaranteed happy endings, and there is no magical hero to save us. So, does this mean we should never have read those stories in the first place? Not at all. In fact, those childhood tales hold a hidden truth, one that can help us in the real world. The greatest strength of a person is not in never facing failure, but in refusing to accept defeat. If you truly set your mind to something, you will face obstacles, but you will also find the courage to overcome them. That is the real victory. Surprisingly, the path to achieving your biggest dreams might just lie in the lessons from your favorite bedtime stories. There's a secret hidden within them, a formula that can turn you into the hero of your own journey. In this summary, you will discover that formula. You will understand the challenges that come with the journey, the victories that await, and the inspiring stories of real-life individuals who became heroes in their own right. So, are you ready to embark on your hero's journey? The call to adventure. Imagine if your life was absolutely perfect. You were born into an incredibly wealthy family. Your parents fulfilled every wish. You had access to all the luxuries of the world, and people envied your lifestyle. Would you be happy? Maybe at first. It sounds like a dream life, doesn't it? But over time, even this seemingly perfect life would start to feel empty. A flawless life never pushes you to grow or achieve anything on your own. When everything is handed to you effortlessly, where is the motivation to strive for something greater? A perfect life is, in reality, a meaningless one. It lacks purpose. Perhaps that's why a truly perfect life doesn't exist. However, what does exist is the power to shape your own life the way you want it to be. Even when it seems like there are 100 reasons why you can't achieve your dreams, the truth is, you still can. Take Anastasia Soare, for example. She is the founder of Anastasia Beverly Hills, one of the most successful makeup brands in the world. But when she first arrived in the United States, she had nothing. Coming from Romania, she didn't even know how to speak English properly. She had to start from scratch, learning the alphabet like a child, before she could even think of building a business. Or consider Paul Orfalea, the founder of Kinko's, a document copying business that eventually became a massive success. As a child, Paul struggled with dyslexia and was always hyperactive. At the age of 16, he was expelled from school. Years later, Kinko's was acquired by FedEx for a staggering $2.4 billion. No one wishes for hardships, but challenges don't wait for an invitation. They come unannounced. People like Anastasia and Paul faced overwhelming difficulties, situations that would make most people give up. But instead of breaking under pressure, they emerged stronger. Their struggles prepared them for even greater challenges, shaping them into the individuals they became. No matter your current situation, you can achieve your dreams. You have everything it takes within you, even if you lack money, power, education, or motivation. The real question is, if others have done it, why can't you? That's a question only you can answer. Your calling. Every person possesses a unique ability or talent. However, not everyone realizes this because they never take the time to discover it. Your unique ability or talent helps you recognize your calling, the inner voice that guides you toward your true purpose. Your calling is your passion, something you deeply care about and love doing. In many ways, it holds the key to your happiness. When you engage in an activity aligned with your calling, you experience a deep sense of joy and fulfillment. It brings you peace, satisfaction, and a feeling of purpose. This is exactly what happened with Michael Acton Smith. As a child, Michael was obsessed with video games. The moment he got a chance, he would immerse himself in gaming. Unlike most childhood hobbies that fade over time, his passion for games never disappeared. It was his true calling. Instead of ignoring it, Michael embraced his calling and turned it into a career. He founded Mind Candy, a children's entertainment company that created Moshi Monsters, an online role-playing game that became a massive hit. His passion led him to success because he followed what truly excited him. A person's calling can take many forms. It could be a childhood hobby, like Michael's love for gaming, or something you discover later in life. No matter when you find it, the real test of a calling is whether it brings you deep satisfaction. The key is to keep your mind open. You never know when an idea might spark a revelation about your true purpose. Remember, your calling is not just a source of happiness. It can also become a source of income. Never let anyone stop you from discovering and pursuing it. The mind of a hero. What is the most difficult thing for a person to deal with? Other people? Personal limitations or weaknesses? No. The real answer is your attitude, and mastering it is one of the hardest things in the world. Your attitude can either elevate you to great heights or drag you down. If you truly want to achieve something in life, having an optimistic attitude is essential. But how do you control your attitude? Take Lane Beachley as an example. She is a former professional surfer and the first female athlete to win 7 world championships in surfing. If there's anyone who knows how to control their attitude, it's Lane. According to her, the only way to improve your life is by taking responsibility for your thoughts. Your thoughts and attitude are deeply connected. How you think is how you behave. Now, let's go back to Lane's story. She is considered one of the greatest surfers in the world, but what if, early in her career, she had been too critical of herself? What if she had let her mistakes discourage her? The result would have been obvious. Negative thoughts would have created a negative attitude. She would have been angry at her failures, and instead of learning from them, she would have started blaming herself. If she had allowed this negative attitude to take over, she might never have reached the level of success she ultimately achieved. But fortunately, Lane has the mind of a hero, and a hero's mind is always positive. Without a winning attitude, she would never have made it to the top. Her story teaches us that we must be aware of our emotions. Losing something, failing, and making mistakes are inevitable parts of life. No one can avoid them completely. Life teaches us valuable lessons, and sometimes those lessons come with pain. However, instead of fearing failure, we must learn to accept it and remind ourselves that this is not the end of our story. There is always a chance to perform better next time. Whenever Lane felt down, she did something that lifted her spirits: surfing. It was her passion, the one thing that brought her the most joy. She found comfort in doing what she loved. If you ever feel discouraged, find something that makes you smile. Do it as long as needed until you start feeling better. That is the mindset of a hero. The heart of a hero. You have dreams and goals, but have you ever truly tried to turn them into reality? Chances are you haven't, not because you don't want them, but because achieving them requires stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's the hardest part, isn't it? To chase your dreams, you must do things you've never done before. You must walk into the unknown where nothing is predictable. You don't know if you will succeed, and the thought of failure haunts you. What if things go wrong? What if you fail? What will you do then? This fear grips you so tightly that your mind focuses only on worst-case scenarios. Success starts to feel impossible. When so many things could go wrong, it becomes difficult to focus on what could go right. Your mind starts overthinking, creating endless situations where failure seems inevitable. The truth is, there is no guaranteed way to escape this fear. Every successful person has faced it. The difference is, they confronted their fears instead of surrendering to them. Yes, you heard it right. The only way to defeat fear is to face it head on. This is 100% true. You are afraid of chasing your dreams because your mind is overloaded with doubts and negative possibilities. Your overthinking convinces you that failure is certain, leading you to give up before even trying. But here's what successful people understand. Even though they have a glimpse of what might happen, they never quit before taking action. And do you know what they learn by challenging their fears? It's never as bad as they imagined. That is the heart of a hero, having the courage to keep going, even when doubts and fears try to hold you back. Once you overcome your fear, you will realize that it was never as terrifying as it seemed. Think back to the first time you rode a bike. You were afraid, scared of falling, losing balance, and getting hurt. But you kept practicing, trying again and again, until one day you finally mastered it. Yes, you probably fell a few times along the way, but what mattered was that you didn't give up. You got back up, climbed onto the bike, and tried again. That's exactly how you conquer fear in life. You don't wait for it to disappear. You push forward despite it. And that's what makes you a hero. The way of the hero. What would you do if your actions had no consequences? It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? Imagine living in a world with no rules, no laws. At first it might seem exciting, even liberating, but would it truly bring you peace and fulfillment? Now, think about your own actions, both good and bad. If you help someone who is weaker or less fortunate, do you think it has no impact? If a classmate copies your work, shouldn't there be consequences? Every action, big or small, creates an outcome. These consequences shape our understanding of how to treat others and guide us toward becoming better individuals. Successful people live by a set of principles, but the most successful among them share one common trait: kindness. We are all part of the same universe, and the law of karma is very real. Whatever you give to the world will eventually come back to you. Imagine you are admired and celebrated, a top artist, a great leader, or a successful entrepreneur. People praise you, look up to you, and place you on a pedestal. But what if, in your success, you start ignoring those who are not as fortunate or famous? The universe keeps track of everything. What you put out into the world, whether love or hate, will always find its way back to you. Being kind is simple. It doesn't require grand gestures. Just don't wish harm upon others. Don't speak ill behind someone's back. And when you help someone, do it with genuine intent. This is what it means to live the way of a hero. A true hero helps others, and as you achieve more success, you must also become more humble. Humility is a key trait of every great person. A humble individual continuously seeks knowledge, aware that there is always more to learn. In contrast, an arrogant person clings to their limited understanding and refuses to grow. Expanding your mindset opens doors to greater wisdom, helping you improve not only in your career, but in every aspect of life. That is the true path of a hero. The more you give, the more you grow.